Ladies and gentlemen, I always start hyperventilating. I can almost hear James Delingpole, a very intelligent researcher in his own right, doing the same thing, because it's so brazen. You've got these slimy con artists who, when you really read the Club of Rome documents and others, they admit this is just a way to take over property and control people. You find out the Rockefellers 110 years ago that the founder, John D., called the public scum. He wanted, quote, great wide expanses. He didn't like people. And literally this robber baron's vision, joining with royals in Europe and others that have this disdain for the public that supply them with all their wealth, they want us out of here. And yeah, that's why the media in the U.S. is like, this poor man, he had some good ideas, just went the wrong way about it. It's desperate. And James Delingpole hit the key here. He talked about how they've got our children. We've got to demand that they stop teaching these frauds to our children. James, how do we defeat these people? Because you say the Death Star has not been exploded. The Imperial fleet is still marauding. I agree the Empire's still there, but so I mean, how would you assess their damage? Because I believe, go ahead.
Sorry, I mean, you say how do we stop them indoctrinating our children? You know, I mean, there was a guy in England, I don't know whether you read this, who had to fight go to court to stop his children being shown an inconvenient truth.
And they found it was just full of baloney. The court did. Yeah,
exactly. They found lots of things wrong with the film, and but you know, the government was trying to insist that every child in Britain, compulsorily had to watch Al Gore's propaganda and lies movie. It's absolutely extraordinary. And the problem is that the things we are saying now on this show go very much against people's instincts of what is true. If you ask most people, is population a problem in the world, they will say yes, because instinctively it feels right that the more people there are, the worse things get. Actually, the history of the human species has been that the more people there are, the better things get. And, we were talking about Thomas Malthus early on. Thomas Malthus in 1798 wrote this book where he said that the population was soon going to outgrow the world's ability to supply it with food. In the next century, what happened? The population in Britain increased by four times. The economy grew 16 times bigger. So the fact is that, economic growth is good for us. Human ingenuity will always find a way to feed the increasing numbers of people on our planet. The richer people are, the less they have to breed. The reason people breed in Africa is that they have no money. They need children because they know some of them.
Well, now you've hit the key. The West is dying 1.3 replacement rate for every mommy and daddy. They're having 1.3 children. That's the global average from Japan to the United States. The West is dying. We need more children, not less. But instead, they're convincing women to have no children for the earth. It's insane.
Yes, exactly. You've got rich greenies like the Prince of Wales and a guy called Jonathan Porritt and so on, forming these organisations like the Optimum Population Trust. And the Optimum Population Trust believes that people should have no more than 2 children and preferably 1. The idea that in the West we need to stop breeding is madness. Our cultures are not replacing the population at a sufficient level to guarantee a decent economic future.
Well, they've done the analysis. The West is probably already deader than doornail.
Yeah.
And which makes the Rockefellers even more happy. These people are out of their minds.
Yeah, I know. But so, as you say, we have a big struggle ahead of us if we are to, because what we are saying does not seem obvious to most people. We have the facts on our side, but people, we're living in a world also where the education system, well, we've seen it in the way our children are indoctrinated by greenie teachers, but the education system is not really interested in teaching kids hard facts anymore. They prefer teaching them touchy-feely stuff about caring about polar bears and stuff.
Stay there, James. Do 5 more minutes. I want you to finish this key point. Because, yeah, the schools are nothing but giant re-education camps, giant indoctrination centers.